Hey, how you doing? A little bit of an addendum to the seal um, video, just doing my bottom drain flush, but I decided to have another go. What I found is, if you see where that dab of silicone is, there's a little kink in the groove, and I drew a red line along the seal when it was in the groove and found it wasn't fully seated there. So will it seat? And I think what it's doing as well, not only is it knocking it out around there, it's knocking it out further around the bottom. So I did all the screws down as far as the one you can see there. I didn't touch the, although I can see, well, I can see a gap there. Let me see. I won't push this back up now because it's on. I can see a gap down the bottom. This is a absolutely torturous job, if anybody was wondering. Again, I've moved the drum back by that half. I mean, somebody mentioned to me online about taking the screen off. There is really no advantage. Now what it may do is let me get a finger in there and push the seal in, but all these plastic ridges, they're part of the drum structure, so taking the screen off doesn't give me the ability to put my hand in. I just squeeze a finger in as best, so I think I can do as well from doing it from the inside of the drum. Yeah, I think having the drum out would probably make this a lot easier, and I'm sure the seal was put in originally when the drum was out, but to be honest, if I don't absolutely have to do that, I don't want to do it. It's a huge amount to dismantle, particularly as I mentioned yesterday, the gully and the sealing around it, and of course when the drum was made, it had probably months for that sealing to dry. I'd be looking to get the filter up and running again as quickly as possible and run the risk of leaks there. It would be much better actually if there was a rubber seal in there than a silicone one, but anyway, it is what it is. So anyway, that's what I'm going to try and do, is seat this a bit better. I did notice when I say I was short or seated here, you can probably, from that side, that is fully seated. This one was about, I'd say, half a mil out the top here, and it was pushed out because of this one, and I think subsequently the ones further down are pushed out, although it seems to be all right when I get to here. As I say, I can see a gap in the bottom there, but this is an absolute killer of a job. You know, I was nearly just saying, listen, okay, there is a small gap on it, but it's still a lot better than having a hole in it, which I did at the bottom, which you saw from the old seal. But anyway, listen, I might just come back when I've got this, if I've any success. I tried putting a long screwdriver in where that kink is, but it just springs back. I did sand it a little bit off. Very hard to get the sandpaper in there. So I'm hoping the silicone grease might give it enough that I can push it in there. I'll know fairly shortly. Okay, talk to you in a minute. Thankfully we have a result. You can even see there, just about here, where I drew the red line. It comes down, but it disappears here, so it wasn't in far enough. I could see when I took it out, it went in, it's sealed. Is it 100%? I don't know if it's ever 100%, but certainly a lot better. And I did feel the seal at the bottom. There's a little bit of play, but you know, it is in. I don't know, but anyway, it's as good as, I don't know what a seal like it. Is it ever 100%? As I say there now, it's a huge amount better than it was. There was a big gap yesterday at the first attempt. It was a bit smaller at the second attempt, and there's nothing there now. I'm not sure about the bottom, but we'll see. I did force it in. Shit, I've just stuff falling all over me. You know, just feeling the gap there. There's a little variance in it. So, but you know, that's not that this is. There's a bit of play in the drum. Not that that is 100% straight either. So there you go. I got Phillips screws. I mean, why? Who invented them? I mean, geez. I mean, if anyone is you know, a flat blade screwdriver. Sorry, I'm just gonna have a rant here for a second. Once you have the right size flat blade and it's sharp, into a slotted screw, open it once it's not too tight, grand. Torx, brilliant, fits perfectly. Again, once some knob hasn't over tightened it, you're grand. Phillips, there's a myriad of different size, different depths. The screws are, you know, unless there's somewhere you can get good pressure on them, you know, if you've worked with them, every time the screwdriver slips, you're damaging them. One of them I had to replace. I just about got it out. I damaged it. I couldn't. They're all gone back in. But I know there's a couple of them are not as healthy as they were before they came out. But I'm sure I'll get them out, as I say. But it would have been much easier if they were, although probably the head is too small for Torx. But absolute bloody nightmare. I at least I've done it. It's one of those jobs like on the car. If you've never done it before, you know, doing 2 shock absorbers on my wife's car in the back. I remember the first one took me about 3 hours, the second one took me less than an hour. Once you know what you're doing and you have it figured out, I suppose that's with this job. If I have to do it again, I'd have it figured out. It only took me about half an hour to seat that. The back's not too bad, no painkillers needed, stiff but not too bad. I have a huge bruise on my right shoulder, and I realise it's from pressing against that when I'm trying to get in here. I'm walking wounded, guys. I hope you realise I've taken one for the team here. So hopefully that's helpful to somebody that will likely have to do this on a Queenie Coy or DBS or similarish type drum. They're all reasonably similar. That helps. As I say, my experience is undoing the drive nut allows you to slip the drum back about ½ an inch. Makes a lot of difference. Taking the screen off, in my opinion, doesn't help. Might help you get your finger in those slots, but remember, those slots are on the drum, they're not part of the screen itself. And that's it. Drum is nice and clean. Hopefully it stays clean now. It should, well, this side of it anyway. It stays clean. But I am now gonna pack up here, go outside, do a back of the pond, and then take the dogs for a walk and do sweet feck all for the rest of the evening, because I am knackered. Ken 1, Seal 0. Right, leave it at that. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.